All right, so we are live. Welcome back. Okay, what happened? Yeah, we're live. Make sure. Looks like nope, it didn't go. Wait a minute.
It's showing on my side is live.
It is showing live.
I gotta.
It's reading different over here, but it looks yeah, it looks like it's live now. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back. Welcome back to another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell in the DMV. Who do we have with us this evening?
Hey guys, I'm Justin Green. I am a mortgage loan officer with Land Home Financing.
Justin, we appreciate you coming out to share some good information with us tonight.
Of course, of
Can we
course.
start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I'm a mortgage loan officer. I've been doing this for a little while now. I work for Land Home. I also have a background in product and finance as well, in the tech industry. So I do a little bit of everything. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about some mortgage and financing options for home buying.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So what are your experiences with first-time home buyers, or what are most of your experience so far?
So right now I pretty much specialize in first time home buyer mortgages. I myself was a first time home buyer a little while ago, so I have a little bit of a passion for that process. When I first bought my first house when I was like 25, I kind of navigated it all by myself. I had to pretty much learn everything myself. But thank God for a lot of the programs that were available to myself with the state and with the city of Baltimore, that pretty much gave me the background and education on it. And so now it's pretty much where I focus with a lot of the mortgages. Most of my clients are first time home buyers. And so there's a lot of education with that, right? You got to have a little bit of patience with the first timers. So yeah, that's where I like to spend a lot of my time. A
That's
little bit of passion there.
that's for sure. That's for sure. Because with first-time home buyers, it has to be a passion somewhat
Oh
because
yeah,
there's a lot of hand holding.
it's a
So
lot of
if
hand
you're not
holding.
willing to if you're not willing to hold hands, then that's not the niche you should be probably playing in, right?
That's right. That's right.
Um,
So,
so
um, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
so we're specializing in first time. Oh, go ahead. You were about to say something?
You breaking up a little bit. Sorry, I didn't catch what you just said.
Were you about to say something?
No,
Were you about to say something?
no, I wasn't. I'm good.
Don't tell me I got a bad connection again tonight. Okay. Well, can you hear me though right now? Or am I breaking up?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you much
I
better
must be
now.
breaking up. Can you hear me though? Am I breaking up?
Yep. No, I
You
can
can
hear
hear
you
me?
fine.
Okay, good. All right. So, what about loan products? What about loan products? Are there any specific loan products that you specialize in?
Oh yeah. So, first of all, with Land Home, we do have our house to home loan or our H2H loan. And that loan is basically a grant that's given to a lot of our first time home buyers that qualify for an FHA loan. And what that does is we will cover pretty much all of the down payment for FHA loan, which is about 3.5%. Um, and that's kind of competitive with some of the state and the local programs that they have as well. I know in the state of Maryland and particularly in Baltimore City as well, there's a lot of government grants as well that's given. Things like the Live Baltimore programs, where they give you grants based on where you're buying in the city. Some of the grants are based on actually where you work. There's a lot of different grants with the cities that you can stack that will go towards your down payment, go towards your closing costs. So you have an option to use those, or you could use the land home H2H program, which will basically cover your 3.5% down with FHA. The good thing about the land home grant is that we don't require any sort of classes to be taken. I know with a lot of the government programs, they do require you to do some to get certified in certain classes. You have to also go through like a counseling program and all that. With us, you're gonna get the H2H grant as long as you qualify for an FHA loan and you close with Land Home. We'll give you that 3.5%. So you forego all the classes and the counseling and all of that. So that's a positive about our loans. But again, we specialize in any sort of grant program that you guys decide to go forward with. We can work with those as well.
Gotcha. Now, I heard you mention Baltimore, but let's say I'm a Montgomery County native, and I'm looking to buy a condo or
Yep.
not a very expensive property, but three, $400,000 or
Yeah.
so. Is the house to home or any product that you have could help me in
Yes.
that
So
area?
yes, the good thing about the H2H program is it's not specific to a certain area, like a lot of the government grants, right? They're based on you having a primary residence in a certain area. Our H2H program, it will work for you no matter where you decide to buy a home, right? Again, long as you're a first time home buyer and you qualify for an FHA loan with Land Home, you do qualify for the H2H grant.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yep.
And is there any situation these days that you see that would maybe cause for I'm just bringing this out of thin air. A couple that may be working for the government or have a decent job um for the state of Maryland or something like that, that they would maybe have a problem with getting a loan.
The only thing that I can think of is there's a few factors actually, right? Your credit always goes into consideration, your income history. So if you're a couple and maybe one of you don't have a consistent income history, right? Or someone has a little bit of a lower credit than the other one, that can affect the amount of loan that you get. So that's where kind of a lot of decision making has to be made. I know some couples may opt to only put one person on the loan, or it may be beneficial to put you both on a loan. It really just depends on you guys' situation when it comes to income, when it comes to credit, when it comes to debt. So yeah, there's a lot of considerations that kind of factors into how much you actually get approved for and whether or not you actually do get qualified.
Gotcha. And so if there's a husband and wife team or what have you, and the husband has a 700 credit score and the wife has a 625, how does the lender normally look at that file with the difference in credit?
Yeah, so we typically would kind of average it out based upon the two credit scores. Same with income, right? We look at the income from the last 2 years and we average it out to determine how much total income in connection with your total debt we'd be able to provide for the couple.
Gotcha, gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. So we're walking into your office. It's the first time we're meeting. What will that actually kind of look like? So how you
Sure.
doing,
So
Justin? I'm happy to meet you, and was
yeah.
referred by some good folks. Said you can help us out.
Yeah, so what that's going to look like really is obviously we're going to introduce ourselves, but what the first thing we're going to want to know is what is your goals, right? Like, what area are you looking to buy a house? What price point are you looking to buy a house? And then we start collecting the necessary details that we need in order to get you guys qualified, right? So with us, that starts with an initial application. We typically send out a link for an application just so customers can actually, complete it on their phone, on their computer. And from there, they have the option to upload the documents directly from that link as well. So documents like we talked about, pay stubs, W-2s, if we need tax information, any sort of credit history, that kind of thing. It's all available to them via a link. But yeah, during that initial consultation, we really just want to get to know the customer and what it is what they're looking for and where they want to spend, right? So we can kind of tailor our approach around the price point that they're looking for.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. What about the
Yeah.
process? How long does the approval process actually take around about?
Well, that can vary based on how quickly we can collect the necessary documents that we need from the customer, right? But we can turn it around pretty quickly in a matter of days. But some customers may need additional time to gather the necessary documents. Some customers may need more documents than others, depending on their situation. So it really just depends. But as long as we have everything, we can turn around a pre-approval pretty quickly, a few days.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Now, let's dive into the house to home real quick. I just have a
sure.
question on that. Um, is there now, let's say somebody needs to refinance because maybe the interest rates is a little high at the time they purchase. Do you know if there's a prepayment penalty or anything for refinancing with that product?
So that's a very good question. I don't think that there's a prepayment penalty with refinancing, but there's a length that a person must have before they can actually refinance, that they must live in the property before. I want to say it's up to 5 years. So they have to stay within the property within the first 5 years. That's how long the grant covers you. After that, they are free to refinance on the property.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And what do you wish that most home buyers knew before they started the whole process?
Oh, a lot of customers think that they are not ready, right? A lot of them think that they don't qualify because of their credit, or they may think that they need to save up more money. And in a lot of some cases they do, but what I learned with my personal experience is you're ready before you even know that you're ready, right? With us specifically, it only takes to start a 580 credit score. If you have that, you do have the option to be qualified. A lot of people, like we mentioned, we talked about all the grants that are available to these folks via either the government grants, via the H2H grant. A lot of times it will cover a lot of your down payment, right? So I think just not being scared to get started, especially with us, we are educational, right? So we like to educate our customers. If you feel like you're not ready, that's fine, but let us know where you are and we can help you get to where you need to be. A lot of customers keep holding off on the process because they keep thinking they're not ready. In a lot of cases, they actually are ready. They're closer than they think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the big mistakes I've seen with first time home buyers is they tend some I've seen it a few times within the last 5 years or so. They
Mm-hmm.
tend to they get that good credit score. They enter the process of buying a home and then they go out and buy a car. How,
Yes, that
what are some
is.
other mistakes that you feel that first time home buyers make?
Yeah, that's a big one. We try to remind the customers, don't make any crazy purchases, no big purchases while you're in that process, because that could really mess you up. But yeah, that's a big one. Not making any big purchases. Um, Also, not making any big like income switches, or I mean, unless it's going to increase your income, but not bouncing around from job to job. We like to see consistency across income, so that's a big one. 2 year consistent income is what we want to see, or job stability, I should say, within 2 years. That's another big one as well. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. How do you feel about the current housing market? Is it affecting buyers' ability to get loans or?
I wouldn't say it's affecting. I think in this market, you definitely got to be patient. What's really good though is interest rates are dropping right now. So now is a really good time to start again reaching out to see about your qualification. But yeah, I think it's just patience right now. I have customers now that are just waiting for that house that they want to just come on the market. But I think it's a really good time. I think it just depends on how I guess the word is picky that you are. I have a lot of customers who want very specific things. And that's another big thing with first time home buyers, right? They want exactly what it is that they want, and they got to learn to they got to be flexible a little bit. They got to pivot. You're not going to get every single thing that you want in a house, but when you find a house that has a majority of what you want, I think that it's like really important to like really consider that house, because you're not going to always find your perfect house, right? You can always buy another house later, right? So
Well,
for a lot of first time home buyers, it's your starter home, right? But you can always buy another house later. You can always refinance later. You can always get a bigger house. You can always get a better house. But if you find a house that has, the 80/20 rule, you find a house that has 80% of what you want and what you see, I think it's really important that you bounce on it. Another thing is just to not sit around pondering. I think a lot of customers lose houses that they actually are interested in because they're in analysis paralysis, is what we call it. So yeah, if you see a house and you really like it and you're ready, I would say go ahead and put an offer on it. So yeah.
Well, I would add to that. I think that also not only can they buy a house later, right, or get upsides or downsides or whatever the case may be, but in the market right now, if you can find something and it has a good price point, and to your point, 80%, 70% of what it has what you want in it, why not get the property now? And if anything, make it what you want it to be,
And it'll
right?
appreciate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so because what people are not paying attention to, everybody want to do what everybody else want to do, and that's buy that gorgeous thing, right? But how about take the next to gorgeous thing and
And
make
make
it
it
your
gorgeous.
gorgeous and not the gorgeous that yeah, right. So
Exactly.
let's make that make sense for folks as well, because that could be the opportunity that makes it that you're not at, you won't have to be in the multiple offer situation. You could be in a
Exactly.
deal getting situation, and I like to call that being more like an investor, because investors
Hmm.
don't pay top dollar. They find the ugly duckling and turn it into what they want. And then guess what, folks? They turn around and sell it back to you for more when you can
Yeah.
somewhat do the same exact thing. What do you think about
Can
that?
do the same thing. Yeah, I love that idea. What is it called? House hacking, right? That's something else that I talk a lot to my customers, right? Is buying a house buying the ugly house, right? Or the house with more than one unit, living in one, you can actually rent out the other one, you can actually make money back on that. Or buying the ugly house, fixing it up and making it what you want it to be. And then, later on down the line, when you're ready for a bigger house or you're ready for another neighborhood or another county, you can always sell that house, right? And make more money off of it. So that's definitely always a good option. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just having a conversation with another agent in my office, and she was having a problem finding her client a house, and I went right in the neighborhood where she was at. They got a house right there. The only
Yeah.
thing the house didn't have was a second bathroom, right?
If you got second
There's
bathroom.
multiple ways. Now, huh?
I said you can
Yeah,
add a
and
second bathroom.
there's multiple ways. Yeah, there's multiple ways to do that, right? Because
Yeah,
here's the thing. What if you could negotiate in the contract to have the bathroom installed,
that's true.
right? So there's a lot of different ways to look at that, and there's ways that we could put that together so that that will actually work, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and there's actually loans to do other things, 203K loans and stuff like that, right? So there's a bunch of different ways for buyers to not have to pay top dollar, but
Yeah.
actually come in and get a deal and then make the home the way they want it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many people go in and buy a renovated home and then go in and paint. That's $3 or $4,000 if they didn't do it themselves. So
Yeah. And to
that's
your point about negotiation too, like as long as you got a good realtor, anything can be negotiated.
and anything
Um,
can be negotiated, and
yeah,
that folk is actually what your real estate agent is on the job for. If you're looking for somebody, it's not about opening the door. That's just one part. The
yeah.
real part, the real job of the realtor profession is to negotiate and to get the buyer the most of
What they want.
what they need and want for their purchase, and to
Yeah.
look out for their best interest. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
Um, Now the house to home that has the grant portion.
Yes.
Is there any other type of loans that you guys have that has either the lower down payment, either 3.5% or 5%? Would that just be your basic FHA, or any other
Yeah.
thing, any
So
other type of loans outside?
So the house to home grant is probably our best loan out there for first time home buyers because it covers that whole FHA down payment. But we do have a multitude of different loans, conventional loans. We can definitely work with VA loans. Pretty much, we have all kinds of loans. I think really we push the H2H because it's the most popular with our first time home buyers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to buy? We would like to say in the next 6 months, but in the next year or two, because some folks are going through some financial struggles now that might not
Yeah.
make them be able to do anything in the next 6 months. But
Yeah. I would say definitely get realistic about, what you can afford or what you want to what you're willing to pay for your home. And then really sit down and write out, make a list of, all of your debts, all of your payments, your monthly payments, and determine how much it is that you actually have to put towards a home. You can work with someone like myself if you want to reach out early on to kind of get that listing and know what that looks like. But just get really realistic about what you're willing to spend and don't go over it, right? You get a lot of customers that they may be pre-approved for a certain amount, or they tell us that they want to stay within a certain amount, and then they see this big pretty house and they are like, okay, I'll take that one. And it's like, wait a minute, you this is going to put you in a little bit of a tight spot. So staying realistic about what it is that you're willing to really spend, I think, is the biggest thing. And once you get out there and start house hunting, sticking to that price point. I think it's also really important, especially in Maryland, pay attention to taxes, right? I know in particularly with Baltimore City, we have very high taxes here. And so you might get a house that looks a really good price point, but once you factor in those property taxes, your monthly payments could get up there, right? So that's something that's I'm always pointing out to a lot of my clients as well, is you got to pay attention to what the taxes are on the property as well, because that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
yep, yep. Is there anything that you would like to share that would improve someone's chances of getting approved for a loan?
Um, I would definitely say keep an eye on your credit. That's a big one. Um, yeah, keep an eye on your credit. Again, get get within a monthly budget and try to stick to it, because that's going to be kind of the biggest thing when our underwriters are looking at you and determining exactly how much you're going to be pre-qualified for. Is we're going to look at how you spend, how much you spend, any sort of debt that you have. I would just say really just like, again, we talk about preparing for the home buying process. Really sit down and dig through all of that detail and figure out what you can clean up, and get really realistic about what you can do and how you can get there before you actually jump out there with buying or making a big purchase.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Are there any red flags a buyer should look out for when looking to choose a lender?
Red flags. If you got a lender that's just telling you everything that you want to hear, right there. Oh, you want this amount of house? Yeah, we can get you that. Or, you want to get a realtor that's gonna tell it to you, that's gonna tell you the truth, right? That's gonna be completely honest with you, that's gonna keep you within a safe monthly budget. Like we mentioned before, that's one of the first questions we ask you. Where do you feel comfortable with your monthly budget, right? For a home, what is it that you want to spend? And stick to a lender that's going to actually keep you within that budget. That's a big thing with us at Land Home, right? We're not going to take you far out. We're going to be very realistic with you. We're going to run the numbers every time. Every time you find a house, we're going to run the numbers. We're going to tell you up front before you even put that offer in. Listen, this is what you're looking at. Make sure that this is something that you're comfortable with. But yeah, definitely look out for lenders that's just bendable when they're moving with whatever you say you want. They're not being honest and upfront with you about what that's actually going to look like for you. Yeah,
So for me, here's a big one.
yeah.
If they only pull your credit. So if Justin only pulls your credit report, you make sure you call me because we're gonna have to have a talk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any final tips for our viewers who are on their home buying journey?
Call me. Yeah, but again, if you if you're unsure of where you are, you unsure of how much you qualify for, you unsure of even where to start. I would say find you a really good lender, someone that again specializes in first time home buyers that have that patience, because that's what it takes. And start asking questions, especially with people like myself. I don't mind answering questions. I know how confusing it can get. I know how scary it can be sometimes when you are, just starting out and you don't know where to start. Get you a really good lender, get you a really good realtor. Um, yeah, start educating yourself. And like I said, just get really realistic about what it is that you're willing to, what you're willing to spend. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm always here. I'm always available. I will answer any questions. I know it from experience. So I got you.
Tell them how they can reach you.
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys
So,
can reach me. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
no, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to
Oh,
you.
okay. You guys can reach me via email. My email is justin.green@lhfs.com. You guys can also reach me via phone, and I can give my number to you guys if necessary. You can also reach me on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Justin Green. I'm on Instagram, Justin Time for Nothing. So yeah, reach out to me at any time. You ask any questions. Everybody knows I'm super friendly. I'll answer any questions if you guys have them. Um, so yeah,
Dustin, I appreciate you so much for
of
short
course,
notice coming and jumping on,
of
and
course. My first
look
podcast,
forward
FYI.
to
So
hey
thank you for
hey
inviting
so
me.
to many more, to many more, to many more, right? But again, I
Oh,
appreciate you for jumping on, folks. That's another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall in the DMV, and we are signing off. I'll talk to you later, Justin.